older brother, male, 41, tried to kiss me, female, 27, when he was wasted.
Oh my God, wait. Like real, like older brother, biological. Ooh, okay.
My heart is racing. I've only shared this with 3 people in my life, my parents and my husband. I want to move forward, but I don't know how. Because of our age difference, my brother and I didn't grow up close, or even in the same household, really. He was moved out by the time I was 6. However, he always hung out at the house on weekends, holidays, birthdays, and such, and we had a pretty good relationship considering. When I turned 18, he really pushed me into drinking with him. I drank in general, so I didn't really think much of it, but there were a few times where I felt he made weird, inappropriate jokes about me and my friends. But having little life experience, I didn't realize how strange it was at the time. Anyways, he's always pushed boundaries, used to pick on me, but in a very physical way. He would hold my arms behind my back and bump me into things like the wall, a table, etc. My parents never asked him to stop, despite him being so much older and way bigger, 6'4", 240 pounds.
Whoa.
I'm just saying this to set the scene of him never respecting my boundaries my entire life. Fast forward to a couple of years ago. I visit him on his birthday. Earlier in the day, we went out to a pub, and his creepy, much older friend said something gross to me. My brother asked, "Is he weirding you out?" I said, "Yes, definitely." He said, "Yeah, John's kind of weird." I thought by my response, he would tell him to leave, like what a good brother would do for his little sister.
Yeah.
Instead, he invited him back to his place to continue the drinking with us that night. At that point, you just tap out. You gotta go.
Yeah.
My brother gets wasted. John gets wasted, but it's kind of normal, boring. John leaves. My brother's wife went to bed early. We're in the kitchen, and my brother asked
He's
for...
married?
He's married.
Oh, okay.
Apparently. We're in the kitchen, and my brother asks for a hug and apologizes that he hasn't been there for me. As he's hugging me, he's kind of breathing into my neck, which makes me uncomfortable, but just in like an ew hot breath, not a scared way. He then pushes me away and asks if he can twirl me.
Okay. Weird.
I think to myself that this is getting weirder, but still I have no reason to be afraid. It's my big brother, after all, my protector, my family. He twirls me around in the kitchen in my dress. Honestly, all I'm thinking in this moment is how he needs help and how sad this scene is. Him being wasted and alone on his birthday. He then brings me in again for a hug and says, "Oh," my name, and then leans in to kiss me on the mouth. I was horrified. I ran out of the house and down the street.
Oh my God.
I called my fiance, but I couldn't really say what just happened. I was so embarrassed and ashamed, and I was really hoping that I misunderstood. However, I did not misunderstand. If this was any other person in any other scenario, I would have no question as to what happened. The reason I couldn't process it is because it was my brother. Once I came back to the house, I found my brother in the bathroom, puke all over the toilet and himself. I got him a cold washcloth, got him a bottle of water, wiped some of the vomit off his face, and told him to go to bed with his wife. This was a couple of years ago, and I feel like I haven't been able to move forward.
Wow.
It has complicated my husband's relationship with my family. I also told my parents, and they have no idea how to process it, and waved it off as he was too drunk, he didn't know it was you. At one point, my dad told me I was going to, quote, tear the family apart if I asked them not to speak to him. Where do I go from here? The thought of telling him what happens horrifies me. What scares me even more is that he may remember it. I'm so saddened over this and the loss of the relationship with him, someone who is supposed to be so close. This would likely tear his family apart as well as mine. So a part of me just wants to pretend it isn't real. Oof.
Yeah, that's loaded.
Wow. I actually really relate to this in the way that me and my older brother are 8 years apart. And so not as big of an age gap, but when I was born, like my brother really, really, really resented me. Mm-hmm. And we had a terrible relationship growing up. Like I still remember him like calling me fat all the time. Like I was just a burden in his eyes. Like he was, especially when he got his license, like he always had to pick me up, drive me around.
Yeah.
But like we did become close. Like after, like I think in college, he would come down to Minneapolis, a 3-hour drive from where he lived. And we would hang out and like go out, whatever. And we started having a good relationship. But I cannot imagine in one of those nights out, my brother like turning to me and fucking trying to kiss me.
That I can't imagine, but I also like,
The horror.
I honestly, I don't know what you do. I feel like you can't pretend it didn't happen because it's going to eat at you. And you have, I don't know. I don't know. I'm glad she told her parents. Their reactions aren't A+ in my book, but but at least they're not.
A good reaction.
It could be worse. Her parents could have been like, well, what did you do to provoke that? You know what I mean?
Oh.
Which is weird, but like,
So true.
at least they didn't go that route, and they are defending their son in a sense where like he was too drunk, he didn't know who you were. But I think that's the only place their mind can go. What's the alternative?
Yeah.
He knew exactly what he was doing.
You're hot. He wanted to make out with you.
I think I want to believe what her parents said too. Like, okay, you're probably an attractive girl.
Yeah.
He was probably so drunk that he just didn't even like connect.
He obviously was throwing up. So
Right. But I don't know. I mean, like, God, how drunk do you have to get to like
try to kiss your sister?
Yeah. Like I
Unless you don't really look at them like a sibling because of the experience.
age gap.
Yeah. Like you didn't grow up with them. It's
I don't know.
Maybe like a cousin.
I feel like
That's still so bad.
It's still so bad. I mean, I'm really good friends with my cousin who's a guy. We don't have a huge age gap, but I could never. Like I would be
First cousin
so
too. Yeah.
weirded out. I would be so weird. Like no.
Yeah.
But what I will say is like, I don't know. My initial reaction is just, I think she needs to have a conversation with him about it. I think she needs to tell him what happened.
100%.
Because then you can both move
Just
forward.
get it out.
Yeah. And hey, if he like is like, yeah, I remember, and he doubles down, and he's like, and
You need to go to therapy.
then you
because
need, yeah,
these
now
are
you need
unnatural
like therapy,
feelings.
and now you need to like have a conversation with your family, and that's going to be difficult, but you can't just go through life not just sweeping this under the rug, because
That's not healthy for you.
it could happen next time and worse.
Yeah.
It could happen again, and it could make things worse. So
Exactly.
I don't know. It's easy for me to say, to just talk about it, but
Yeah, clear the air.
I just don't see a way around it.
I don't either. I really think this is something.
Unless you just
gotta
completely
address.
decide that you don't want a relationship with your brother anymore, you'll tolerate him. You'll come around for your parents' sake.
Family
You'll
get-togethers.
collab, but like you're no one-on-ones. Absolutely,
Yes.
You know what I mean. That's a route, but
And that's fair. At
but
this
you might
point,
feel
but-
unsafe and unsettled when you're around him, and that's not fair to you.
No, and if this is something that's affecting your marriage and
Exactly. And,
It
and
is.
that's another thing. That's a component I forgot. Her husband now, or fiance, whatever he is to her.
harbors that secret.
Yeah, and now, at these family reunions, dinners with the parents, he's gonna be weird, and you're risking.
Yeah,
It's just a lot of discomfort.
It is, and it's just like honestly, like he's the one that fucked up. So get it out there.
True.
Like, this isn't your burden to bear.
I agree.
Let it
Yeah,
out.
so true. That's what sucks is a lot of these times, the perpetrator, whatever, the offender,
Goes like scot free.
Yeah, and then the victim has to bear the burden of
that
being
guilt,
Like, and the guilt.
turmoil.
Yeah, was her question. Am I the asshole, or was it just what do I do?
Yeah. What do I do? Address it.
I think address it.
I honestly, if you want to send him a letter, like you don't want the confrontation, like send him a letter.
Oh, that's true. I forgot about the component that'll fuck up his family.
Yeah, like send a letter and just like be non-confrontational, or literally like, hey, I need to talk to you. Can we grab coffee? Sit down in a very public space. If you want your husband to come join you, bring your hubby, and just get it the fuck out. Like, this is not your burden to bear, and it's not.
Ooh, that's so tough.
I know. Top comment. I think you should find a good therapist if you haven't already. Also I love
that. I forget that therapy is.
I love
a
therapy for everyone and anyone.
Yeah.
Like, I'm a true believer in, even if you don't think you need therapy, like everyone could benefit from therapy.
Absolutely.
I talk about this to Justin all the time. Like, therapy is like maintenance for your brain. Like, we all, our cars need oil changes. Like, everything in your life, like light bulbs expire. You need to change light bulbs. Like, our brains need therapy.
Like a rewire sometimes.
Yes, like just get it out, talk to someone. Like, even if you don't think you do, like everyone could benefit from therapy. So yes,
Yeah.
to that.
Yes.
I'm sorry this happened to you. I'm sorry your family is in denial of your experience. Next comment.
True.
Your parents are assholes.
Well,
I think it's hard as a parent because you love your kids equally.
right.
And you also like you weren't there. So
Yeah.
I mean,
it is he said, there's no pattern to
yes.
think we totally see that happening. Like,
it's just like it's
Right.
fucking shock. And
Right.
you want to believe the victim. You want to support the victim. Like,
and it sounds like they do.
They
It sounds like they
do.
do, but they're like, Yeah, you're right. In a way, I'm seeing what they're saying. Like in a way, you're not supporting the victim when you're kind of gaslighting them. Like he was confused.
It is it's gaslighting.
It's like I saw what I saw, and like I'm a sister. So
yeah, but I think at the end of the day, you're like, I raised this son of mine. Like I can't imagine him being capable of this. So it's like,
yeah.
It's almost like they're maybe taking it personally on their own parenting and a reflection of them. And so then they're like gaslighting her to like, hey, that didn't happen.
And I think it comes back to what I said earlier is like, what's the alternative?
Yeah.
If you don't believe that he was confused, what's the other option? He wanted to kiss his sister on the lips?
Yeah.
That's weird. You don't want to believe that.
No.
It's like the brain's way of protecting itself. It's like, I can't come to terms with that trauma.
Yes.
So I have to believe this, and it's not right, but like that's the parents. They're acting out of like fear and guard.
Yes.
They're, like it's not like, oh, we don't believe you. It's just like, we believe you, but we maybe think that there's another reason for it.
There's more to the story.
Yeah.
So OP does comment on another comment basically saying like, your family's toxic, blah, 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 blah. Mm-hmm. She goes, it's true. I agree. My parents are older and I'm wondering if they are going into this weird self-preservation mode.
Yeah.
Which is literally what you just said.
No, I think it's what you just said.
No, you were saying like they're trying to rationalize it and like save themselves.
Okay. Yeah.
It's a bummer regardless.
Yeah, for sure. And
Yeah.
that's what I'm like, obviously I'm not a parent, but I'm putting myself in their shoes and it's like,
They're equally your children.
yes.
Obviously this is the one coming to you and
Yes.
telling you this, but you don't want to believe that one of your children is like capable of something like this.
Yeah. Agreed.
Yeah. Tough situation.
That's super tough. I hope she figures it out.
Let it the fuck out.
Yeah, I think so. I
Just let it out.
but therapy was a good suggestion.
Oh, love it. Absolutely love it.
Yeah.